Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is British Siberian Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I have figured out a couple things. Probably will mean we will get 2 trains today, a lot of construction done, and potentially our first citizens. I'm not kidding. I did figure out a couple things, and that is thanks to some technical difficulties on prior, attempts to record this episode. The first one we can look at right now. What is our biggest bottleneck in the beginning in Workers and Resources most of the time? It is workers. We do have some workers available here, foreign workers, 67 to be exact, and that's a bunch, but we're not able to use all of them, and that is a slight problem. Well, we can solve that relatively easily, which means just get all of the vehicles, I think it's out of this one, into a depot that we don't have yet, so let's get that one built quickly. They are still free, and all of this whole starting area is entirely replaceable and demolishable in my mind when we get to it, so that should be fine. Tell our excavator over here to not go to that location, and then we should be good. And this guy can use some buses. I do know that we already have one bus sitting right here, so I'm just going to use that one as one of the buses that we will deliver, but we also have some better buses available already, which is these Gaggenau C40. They can go faster and transport more people. That can be very helpful in situations where, well, we want more workers to be available at the same time. But honestly, I don't know that we want this one right now for this, because having just a few workers per session is actually fine, especially if we have a crane available, and we should have a couple more cranes available on top of this, so let's do that too. We have this construction office with these Russo Balts T40s that are there for concrete. They're wonderful, but we have 24 of them sitting in those large construction offices there, so this is my next target that I think I want to replace, and they're concrete. I can't really assign them to this thing. And I don't have any other free road depots available. I don't want to waste them. I don't want to sell them right now. There's no reason to get really rid of them. I'm just trying to utilize them as good as I can. So send them out to another road depot, and that should be good. And you guys can get me a couple more cranes. At least 2 cranes, and then something a little crazy. Covered holes. Covered hole that I want is the large one, which would be this one. It is slow, but it is fine. Get me 2 of those. Why? Because there will be some constructions that will require some mechanical components in relatively short time. The other thing I had to find out, I'll show you right now, is that our small garbage containers actually require a tiny bit of prefab panels. It's weird. I saw that in one of the things mentioned in a forum somewhere, where it was just like, it's weird that we have prefab panels already needed this early in the early game, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. That's fine. Let's get all of these guys just doing what they're supposed to do, and they can import whatever they need here. Cool. The first thing, well, second, third, fifth thing that I would like to do right now is show you how we get the first train. The first train is going to go up here. Why? Let's look at this. There are no road cranes in this thing at all. Just not a thing. No road cranes. Track builder. There we go. Weimar Dampfkran has 40 kilometers per hour and speed of 18, and this one speed of 4. Very, very painful. Compare that to what we have available over here, which is the steam crane, 45 kilometers per hour and 22 speed, if we wanted to, and it just costs a little bit of money. It actually takes... Do you take fuel? It says F. Is F actual fuel and not coal anymore? I need to triple check this. I didn't see that before, but track builder over here, coal, and fuel. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like it. I think I kind of like it. I think it's a good thing. Do we want fuel or do we want coal? This one is very cheap comparatively, but it's slower. It's 4 speeds slower, 4 people slower, so I think it will do much less. It has a length of 22 meters. This is really a matter right now. This one has a length of 21 meters. I don't know which one is faster. I really don't know. And one uses steam and one uses fuel. Fuel, we probably need power for to actually man that, where steam, we actually don't even need power for in the rare construction office to get that one going. Okay, pick one. Pick one or the other. Do you want to build next to this border or next to the other border? Excellent question. I don't have the answer for that right now. I think I want to do this one because it's a little faster. Okay, then let's go with that one. We'll figure out what the fuel situation with that one is down the road. Cool. Let's build a rail construction office right next to the border. Right here is fine. I'm not worried about storage or anything else because we're right next to the border, and I am fully prepared to spend as much money as necessary, NATO money that is, to build the rail construction hub here as fast as possible. And that also means I have to build this piece of track really fast so I can get the faster track builder right there, which should be relatively simple. Let's place a quick waypoint here so these people know exactly what is up. Let's make that one high priority and this one higher priority. And then we can assign this. That's the first piece. The next piece that we need is to tell a construction office crew that this is the highest priority item that I want them to work on. Wonderful. You will figure it out, I am sure. And look, that thing is already full, which I think is quite impressive. But that's very, very neat. So these guys can figure out what they need to do and honk a little bit like little ducks. And that feels all right. All our vehicles here, the buses and the excavator is gone. The crane over here is gone, but we have our covered holes sitting there. What is this guy? Okay, covered holes, and the covered holes we also have covered over here. So honestly, most of these could be moved at this point. I just don't know 100% where I want to move them to. So we're going to leave that alone for just a second because there's more stuff to do. Did you know that there's almost always something you need to do and finish? I don't actually want to work on this one. That's fine. We're going to do that once we have some citizens, which we don't have today. Let's pick up the next thing. What is the next thing? The next thing would be the utilities that we don't have yet, which is only electricity and water and sewage. We kind of have heating. We need more heating. And there's an argument to be made that this house is probably too close to our heating plant. But it is what it is right now. I think we have a chance of this not polluting this too much for a little while. And if it does, we'll just turn this house off from citizenship and just demolish it at some point. Maybe that's okay. We'll have to figure that out. But yeah, let's get a little bit of water going, shall we? Yes, we shall. The first thing we're going to do is a small water well. There's a new excavator available. Cool. The small water well can go pretty much anywhere it wants to go, but the advantage is, or you can, I guess, I should talk about this. The small water well has a maximum daily production of 70 cubic meters. The big water well has a maximum daily production of 215 cubic meters, but requires workers and power. The small one only requires power. And then there's the surface water intake, doesn't require anything. Can produce up to 150 cubic meters of water a day, but only has a quality of 77%. So, the quality really just translates to how much chemicals do you need to make this drinking water or usable water, or some industries also need more than dirty water to function, and that's up to you. But I think I'm just going to use the small water well. It fits pretty well into what we want to do here, and there's some room. Also, I don't think that we're going to make a lot of, or create a lot of pollution in this area up here. So I feel relatively confident that we can just slap this one in here without any harsh consequences down the road. Cool. So that one can get built. We may as well get that one assigned right away because, well, all of this is going to take a very long time. The next thing that we need is some way of storing water. And this will be a little awkward, but it's fine. I will place 2 small water towers, one there and then one TRR to flip you around, one here. These 2 water towers are required because we need multiple water connections. One of them has to go here for steam, if we use a steam train, which now I'm questioning if we're even going to connect this one to steam because I found that fuel train, which is more attractive because it's more faster. Now is fuel more expensive? Yeah, but it's also faster. So we got to figure out if we're actually going to go that route or not. Not sure yet what this is all gonna equate to, but we have a starting point. Are you guys already done with this guy? No, you're not done yet, but you're surely getting there, which is cool. So yeah, we have 1 tower for drinking water resource and 1 water tower for everything else, and I hope that makes enough sense. Should you just use 1 large water tower? Let's see. Let's do the math really quick. Small water tower, 70 work days and 2 tons of steel. The rest is semi-cheap. The large water tower, 511 workdays, 15 tons of steel, and 3.2 tons of mechanical components. I think the answer is pretty simple. I'm much rather have two small ones because the in-between water storage is really just there to store gravity or pressure in the top of the tower and have some notion of a backup once power fails. If power fails for this guy, that we don't run out of water, but it only matters if the power fails here, because the next thing in the chain, which is a small water treatment plant, also needs power to function. So if we run out of power, everything runs out of power, then we don't have water. This does not save us. It just gives us a chance to pump water in between every once in a while if we have some consumers, like industries, that don't constantly consume anything. I hope that makes sense. If you have a water well, like this one over here, you will also need a water pump. And you can get a small one or a big one. I can tell you that the big one can pump about 150 cubic meters. And if I translate that into the wattage, this one uses 650 kilowatts of power. Then the small one uses 250, which is about not a third, 40%. It's not 50% for sure. So 33%, about a third of what this one does. So we can say that this one probably pumps about 50 cubic meters. And if you remember, the small water well has a capacity of daily production of 70 cubic meters total. So I think we're fair. We're fine with using the big water pump. It also gives us the ability, or gives us 3 outlets instead of just one that the small one has. So this should be okay. Are you going home? Don't go home. I know that I just placed that at a really inopportune time when all of these people were showing up, but they will figure it out down the road. Don't worry about it. Let's speed this up a little bit again. Let's make sure that we actually use all of the water that comes in here, which means use a large water pipe. Let's go F3 underground with the large water pipe to organize this side. Then we're going to use a small... Actually, let's do like this. I want the outside pipe to go right there. Building's in the way. Are you kidding me? How is the building in the way? What? Oh, this one is the pipe. Okay, the pipe can be in the way. I believe you there. But that's not actually the connection that you wanted, because you want the middle to go somewhere else. And I will show where that is. Let's have this one go forward. And then this one... can connect into that tower. So one of the towers is our water reservoir for city water, and one of the towers is our reservoir for industrial needs and potentially rail needs if that becomes a thing. Let's put a water switch somewhere in a reasonable place. It's zoomed out a little bit first, potentially. There we go. Now we can see something again. And this one is not bad. And again, I haven't decided if I want the rail construction office to have a water connection or not. But for right now, let's run a good sized pipe down here. What pipe did you use over there? I don't remember. I don't remember what pipe I used on that side. So I'm just going to redo that, because if this is a tiny pipe, that may cause trouble down the road. And I don't want that. I need at least the medium pipe to run through here. To keep us all relatively happy with the water that we're getting, but this should be okay. This one is probably also, it looks like a small pipe. This is a large, and this is a medium pipe. This is a small pipe. This is a small pipe. Okay, they're just slight differences, but on a 4K screen, you can actually kind of tell what's going on. So here we are, being able to kind of tell what's going on, and therefore we're going to make some changes. You can run over here. Very good. I'm going to stop it here for water, because sewage is always harder, and we have to figure out where all our sewage connectors go, but I don't want to lose sight of this guy. You're 59% done, and your priority list is okay. At the same time, I will give these guys some other priorities so they can hopefully get a couple more things done, even potentially this winter. Hard telling. But sewage. Sewage is the next topic. Don't get distracted by that, with that. What do we need for sewage? Gravity and slope. That's important. Okay. The most important tool I find for sewage placement is this guy, the tool for measurement. You can actually measure a lot of different things. For example, you can see the terrain height, 1.85 meters. Pretty much everywhere here, which means there's no good place for a sewage switch to place right now, but your sewage still has to go through here somehow. So how do we solve that? Let's see. Let's find a place for a sewage tank that covers a lot of the area that we actually care about. And right here feels like not a terrible place. How much do you actually cover? You cover all of the buildings that have people in them and a little extra. I think that is pretty good. And how about we have another one out here that also covers most of the same area, plus the industries themselves. That feels fine. The industry is right here. How are we going to collect all of this? Oh, that's easy. Use a sewage switch. But the sewage switch has to be below the height of this thing. And this one is 10.84 meters. And there's a lot of room here, but it's 10.85 meters, so it's certainly not below that height. So let's fix that. We're going to go down here. Again, use your height meter. It tells you 9.3 meters. We now have a slope. That's all you need. Don't worry about pressure too much. I see a lot of posts and different forums that ask about, why is my pressure low? Why is this low? Why is this not working the way it is? Why am I losing pressure here? Pressure is really not that well simulated in this game. As long as you have a downward slope, things will happen. With water too, as long as you have a pump in there, it generally works. So don't freak out about it too much if you can avoid it. You, sir, I would like you to flow this direction. Wonderful. Then I would like you to flow in there, and you just connect right up here. And then where is this all gonna go? I like this spot right here. There is quite a bit of room, and we should be able to get one of our sewage discharges placed in here if we try. Not even hard, just try. You are free to place the sewage treatment plant if you want. It is very expensive. What do you actually cost? You cost 32 tons of steel for the small one and 75 tons for the large one with mechanical components. It is extremely expensive, and it costs chemicals to treat the water. And you know what you get out of it when you're done with it? You get dirty water. You can't even use that water. So I don't like using it outside of role-playing purposes. So forgive me if I don't go wild on that. That was sewage that I just built. I wanted to activate all of them though. There we go. This is the button I was looking for. I was just looking for all the things. You turn on, sure, and then we can get a couple pipes started at the same time. As long as this one is highest priority, we should be okay. And the first train is almost in reach. We are getting so close to that thing. You can almost taste it. Cool. What was I doing? I was doing this thing where I'm trying to add a footpath, and honestly a dirt path is probably appropriate for that thing. Same for these two towers, get those connected. This one has a gravel path, I think, but that's alright. They can stay there. You still have to connect them. Got it. Don't forget that, because if you forget the connection, you may not get what you bargained for. And that's fine. Let's get this one connected. I like to do the middle, because it gives me the most chance for, oh, I forgot something on this side, or I forgot something on this side later on. This should be fine. Yeah, let's get that one assigned too. And now we have all the sewage needs covered for this part of the city, which I would argue is a good thing. I'm looking for this because I really want that one done, because once it's done, we can do things. We can do things, and relatively quickly, actually. You will be surprised, I think. I'm excited for this. Great. We got that one in. Let's continue with more water. What more water do you need? F3 again to go underground. So we now have water coming in here. That is nice. Do we have the warehouse done? We do have the warehouse done. I'm considering starting to deliver some things. Start to deliver some things and then do water right after. Because once water is actually built and completed, which really shouldn't take all that much longer once these things are all built, which, to be fair, is a lot of stuff that has to be built. But once all of those are done, we will want to get into, well, getting citizens. And we are in 1932, so are we going to get them in the second year? I think there's a good chance that we can make it happen. We do have to prepare, though, so let's prepare. Got it. The first preparation is we need a couple flatbed trucks, which I do think we had some. But where have they gone? These are the flatbed trucks. Okay. If we say no longer auto search, cancel all construction, and I would like to send them all home, but only if they're empty. That one's empty, that one's empty, and that one is empty as well. So that sounds good. I think it was this one. Yep, very good. We can just say call all vehicles home. They're already relatively close, but that is fine. We can use these for transport missions going forward. Did you really need covered holds? You didn't need covered holds. Sorry, you didn't need open holds. You needed covered holds. So we're solving a different problem. So we can just turn that back on and you can do whatever you want. It's fine. These are all flatbed trucks, so they should be delivering enough for what we actually need. We need covered holds. All right, remember that when you do the next part. I will try. Let's put a road depot right here. Put it not right there. Put it a little further away. There you go. I know I have 3 road depots here now, but just bear with me. We're going to figure all these things out. The first thing that I would like is... You actually want a distribution office for this. Thank you. I meant to have a distribution office, but I didn't build it right where I wanted it, so now I have one. Cool. What do we need? We need the covered holds. Where are they? Right here. We have this guy going 57 kilometers per hour, but only not even a ton of food. This one, 2.5 tons of food, which is why I would like to get started on these guys right away. We purchased them, which means they can go and get refueled. I just have to set this one up to only hold what we actually care about. And I will actually allow a little bit of chemicals here, so we can deliver that to our, this guy. That is called the water treatment plant. Some booze for later. We will start with food, and food we're probably going to go up to 6, and then 1% of clothes for now. Once we're producing our own clothes, that's going to be different, but for right now, that's just what we're going to import. It's going to be a little expensive, but that is fine. And our trucks should have no problem importing all of this stuff for now. And I will tell them food, clothes, and chemicals. Yeah, that feels good. I will not get electronics. There's an update. There's a very important update. But in the early start DLC, Peter said, I haven't tested this yet, so I should probably not be too loud about this, but Peter said that citizens do not need electronics right away, and if they use them, they decay a lot slower than what we're used to, and that just translates to you don't have to waste any money on electronics in the beginning, because they just don't care for it, and they will be okay. When are they not okay with that? About 1955 is when you will need electronics to actually do the things that you want them to do. So be aware of that. Okay, what do we need here? Honestly, all we need is some coal, some water, some boards, some steel, and some gravel. So what do we have? We have this guy for coal and gravel. Great. Get that one assigned right now. That looks good. We have these guys for steel and for boards. That also looks good. I don't even know that we need a second one assigned to there. And then I need someone that is capable of moving water for steam, at least in the beginning. Then later on, it will turn into a... No, that's an oil tank. That's different. We need a water cistern. 1.2 and 5 cubic meters. 5 cubic meters obviously is the one that we wanted. And send you... Actually, you will have a line on you once you're available. So that should be fine. Oh, then we need one more vehicle, which is a bus. And this bus can be honestly very small. Yeah, we get rubles from here. That's cool. Get me a bus. Get me a small bus. Because we don't have to fill it up all the time. Oh, and then we do need one flatbed truck. Please and thank you to do the most important thing. The most important thing is going to be this one. Go to disassembled. Very important because you cannot carry the road crane. You have to bring the disassembled one down here. You can purchase that one, nice and small, cost 1 ton, weighs 1 ton, and your flatbed truck should have no problem organizing this. And this is a very common question. It is pinned at the top of the Steam forum. How do you get started with rear construction in realistic mode? This is how. You just have to tell your truck to go to the border to pick up a vehicle. Do not wait until loaded because that will confuse it. It will wait there until there's another vehicle that it can't load. Don't set, wait until loaded. And just send them out there, and then I will just tell them to go back to the road depot over here. But our little truck will get our first friend. Let's do this. And there you go. That's our steam locomotive. Kind of sad, but that's our machine. that will help us get to the border to do the next step, which is then turn that border construction office into, well, rail construction office. It'll be fine. It'll be super fun. Okay, I would like you to go here. Load stuff. What do I want you to load? Definitely gravel, definitely coal, definitely steel, definitely boards, nothing else. Then go there, unload it. Cool. Good enough. Can just get started right away because that's good. Water. Yep, because we're starting with steam. Once we turn that into fuel, we're just gonna have to switch the truck out, but that should be okay, and then we can get our bus. And with the bus, it's very important that you don't load it 100%. We can fit 14 people in here. The wagon that we're going to fill up is not going to be able to use 14 people, and we definitely don't need tourists, so let's just turn that off entirely and just make this less confusing. We're loading from there and unload from there. This doesn't make a big difference, but it's just less confusing if we make sure that this is all appropriate and let that bus just go. Because we have everything here that we need. We have a mechanism. We can hold up to 8 people. There are several people waiting here. Again, there's just no reason to fully pick them up right away. And they should be able to do the thing that we all came here to see in just a second. There's the bus. Hold on. We're gonna go zoom right into this spot, and we will see what either excitement or, much more likely, or disappointment this little crane is going to be. Look at that thing. It is barely peeking out. Already lost a couple workers. Barely peeking out again. Barely peeking out. Barely peeking out. And it's about to be done with what it had loaded before. And come on, turn around. There we go. That's all you get out of this thing. It's going to take forever for this thing to build any situation, which is why we do need that bigger track layer from the NATO side ASAP. But this should be all taken care of. I did this distribution office because I didn't want to put a cargo connection station on here. Also, this building, this construction office, is only going to be temporary. We are going to invest all our NATO money into this rail section until it's done. We may even get another rail builder on here once we get to the double track side, which should speed up things a little bit, and that's all great. Okay, with that in mind, how's our construction crew doing over here? Let's just assign a couple things. I have found that it's helpful if you assign buildings that are almost done or partially done, because it helps. Like, usually the construction offices already have vehicles in those places. They just would like more. Cool. With all that said, there's one building that I haven't built at all, which is a monument. Monuments are there to keep your loyalty not super high, but not super low. It's going to be somewhere between 30 and 40%, as long as you have your subjects in range, which we can do with this one. If you look for all of them, the Kremlin Tower sadly has the best range and loyalty, so that's what we're going to use. There are a couple other ones, but they just don't have as much range or influence, so getting the one that has the biggest impact is beneficial to start with. This is what we're going to use. It has a road connection. Don't worry about it. The road connection is not required to build this thing. How do you know that? For some buildings, you just have to try. I have found that if they are vanilla, they usually work the way that they're intended. So that's good. There's more stuff, right? Yep, there's a lot more stuff. What is the next stuff? Coal. Get some coal in, because that's another thing that's going to take forever to actually build and run around. So here's our coal truck from earlier. I want you to wait until loaded. Very important, because if you run empty, you're just going to waste time for everyone. And bring that stuff down here. It's going to be coal. That feels good. And we are going to assign this to your friend. Also feels good. You're doing a great job. I am proud of you. Concrete here and concrete here makes me think I just want to move you over there. And maybe even destroy this road depot, because you want to keep your empty or your road depots available for whenever you want them. And getting rid of them here is honestly a good thing. Looking at the next parts. This guy is currently not really assigned to that many places for fuel, which is interesting, but let's add these two construction offices so they don't have to go out to that fuel station anymore. At some point, we're probably going to turn that fuel station off, and then start bringing it to some emergency places over here. This one is a big one. That's the fire station. This one's technical service office. That will drive a lot. So having those two covered is a good thing. And that should be okay. We are adding more work for our little truck. Let's give him a helper. Yeah, they will appreciate a helper. Everyone wants a little helper every once in a while. So let's just make that happen. Continuing here, more construction going on, and we don't have water finished. That's true. Let's go work on that. Water substation? Yeah, that usually works pretty well. Where do we need one? We need one everywhere where there are citizens. Look at that, they're already working on the underground pipes, which is great. They do take a long time, but they have to get done. We will get our water from there. How about we do this? We start from this side, and I do want a water tower from our... coming from our water treatment plant over here. To get water up in the tower, you do need a pump. And because of what I explained earlier, I do like large water pumps. We have a lot of advantages with them and not really disadvantages after they are built. So that's what we're going to connect here. I'm going to throw a large pipe in here. It may not be able to fill right away, but if we ever connect a second water production chain over here, that should be okay. And also having this guy over here should only pollute the water and not the ground, and this guy shouldn't be affected by pollution. But if I'm wrong, we'll just replace that, because all we really need is a couple chemicals to make that all work. Medium water pipe to get in here, and then a water switch to get out of wherever you are currently, which should be okay right here. I know there's a lot of crossing going on between the pipes, but I think they will get their things done relatively easy. F3 to see a couple things. That looks good. Talk to our construction office. Thank you. And get all of these things built as fast as possible. Okay, we're not done yet. There's more. Water substations. How many do we need? We need enough. That is the math you have to do. How many do you actually need? It's really, really, really hard to say. You just need to develop a feeling of how much is enough and who's all covered. The coverage is more important most of the time, especially in residential buildings, because they only consume stuff when they are home. If they are at the factory or somewhere else, that is where they consume stuff, not well, not at home. So hope that makes sense. It's just the total consumption that you have, not always the current consumption, which can be confusing, I guess. Yeah, sure. These two water stations should cover it. There's one here and then one here. So one is mostly residential and one is mostly industrial. The factory, the fabric factory, does have a connection to receive some water, and we do want to give it to him. So this is just what we're going to connect here. What is that for? This is industrial water, just like industrial sewage, that does have to be taken care of for production to actually work. It is very possible that this is one of those that may not technically need the extra water input, but I just want to make sure that we are covered when we do have to be covered, and this makes me feel relatively safe. We don't need to construct that. That's just asphalt. Cool. Are you bringing stuff in? Yes, you are. Bebo Joe, why are you not delivering any meat yet? Same logic as before. The problem with meat is... You better stop constructing this thing in just a second. The problem with meat is that it will actually decay if we don't have power, because we can't run refrigerators without power. Did refrigerators exist in 1932? I honestly do not know the answer to that question. Let's just say yes. At least some refrigerators. I feel pretty good about that. Some refrigerators did exist around this time. Yeah, you just have to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do with power. Otherwise, it just don't work. You go, you go, you go. Again, I'm trying to find the ones that already are partially done so we can get those things out of the way quickly. Do we have water and sewage taken care of now? I would say no, because we have not actually connected water pipes to them. Fair enough. Let's get that one connected. This is why I actually want to run this like so. And to be fair, should I give this another connection? That water pipe is small, and I just used two large water pipes to connect this thing. I think it would be stupid to leave it this way, so we're just going to take that one out, and connect a large water pipe in between that tower and this thing, just in case we get overloaded a little bit, because if this is a medium pipe, it has 55, 56 cubic meters of capacity. If I have 2 more medium pipes behind that, how do you split 55 cubic meters of water into 2 pipes that are of equal size? It'll just be half, so the capacity is 25. So if I actually want to use the capacity on both of these, I should have a larger water pipe, so I split the large one into 2 medium ones. That makes a little more sense, but then again, on this side, I only have a medium one feeding into this pipe, and this guy, honestly, because it hasn't really started yet, would be pretty easy to upgrade that in case I do need extra water coming into the area. So it's just simple math. Don't make it difficult. This should be fine. You may be asking, Joe, why did you connect the water pipe to this thing from the switch that you have over here that's your industrial water? Because I looked before, and when I looked before, the clothing factory actually only requires a water quality of 85%, which is not nothing, but the water that we get in from this guy should be close to 93, 94%. It pollutes itself, apparently. But that should be enough as long as we don't pollute this, and if we do pollute this, we just have to reroute through our water treatment plant and get more water out of it, but that should be okay. Do you see how many things we already got done? That's pretty exciting. This guy should be completing that thing like right now, and I'm okay with you continuing here until you're done with that. Now we're going to turn this off for a second, so this one gets picked up. There you go, just turn around. And we're almost at our second locomotive, just like that. It's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting things happening here, and I do realize that I talk a little faster, but the technical difficulties did allow me to think about what we're going to do here several times, and now we are where we are. Hope that's okay. Let's make a couple changes. I don't like those fields exactly where they are. I think this road does not need to be where that one is. I think that one can be rerouted more like so. And we should be able to fit in a larger field in this spot. But that's not what we're going to do right now. The next thing that we have to do is get some power. Are you going to do the water first or last? Let's finish out the water. This coaling station will require some power. When are you going to worry about diesel trains? Diesel trains. I cannot neglect them, but do I want to put a diesel station in here already? Diesel station would be more for later. We could still put it right next to this. We have the connections, the rail already set up in a way that that's not really a problem. So we could have a refueling station in the same spot. Then those two could be fine. Eventually one of them has to be disabled, and also either of them could burn down at any point. But I do feel that, I don't know when, I think for right now, all our trains, yeah, there's nothing here, but all of our trains are coal-powered, and I don't know when we get the first diesel train. There's a steam locomotive, 77, 62, 63. I think we have like 30 years before we have to worry about this, but on the other hand, this is the only border connection for rail. So not having diesel refueling set up over here is probably a stupid idea. So let's get rid of a couple things and just rebuild it and put a diesel fueling station right next to this guy, just so we are prepared for the future. And I'm okay with it being kind of an extension to what was here before. Hopefully, let's do F2. I would like it if there's not a ramp in between these guys, but I don't have that much control over it. This looks fine. Then this guy would just come out here. That looks good. Yep, put a little bit of love inside the side of the mountain there. And we should have more than enough room to refuel whatever comes through here. Again, it is a major... it's the major and only rail connection to the border. So we do have to make sure that this one actually exists and is taken care of. And now we have. I didn't think about that before. If you wrote a comment about that, thank you very much. If you're interested in having access to the current episodes, I usually have some early access available to Patreons and YouTube members. Any level gets the same one. It's just up to you how much you want to give. And if not, you just get them whenever they become public, which is generally relatively early on when things happen. Starting to think that I don't like this turn right here because we're wasting a little bit of arable space, but maybe it's okay the way it is. Just leave it. You don't have to worry about it. Are we there yet? Nope. But yeah, if you want early access, Patreon and YouTube members get that. Also, speaking of early start DLC is coming out. I think this episode is going to be Sunday. The next episode is going to be on Tuesday for the early start, and the early start DLC is coming out on Tuesday, which should be the 22nd. And when that comes out, guess what? The winners of the giveaway will be announced 2 hours before the release time, which is about, I think, 10 a.m. is what I heard. And if you want to participate in that giveaway, please go down in the description and go down in the comments. There is a link for King Sumo that you can sign up and put your email in if you haven't already, just to be entered in the drawing. I need the email address only to be able to contact you when you won. I will not contact you with that email for any other reason, I promise. No interest in that. But if you won, that's how I give you a key. So please look out for your email on that Tuesday morning when the early start DLC is actually being released, because that's the time when I probably ask you, hey, is this the right email address? Can you please respond? Then I'll send you a key, something like that. If you want to participate, just make sure that you do. Thank you so much. that was that little part of educational something on the side. I want a little extra room. You need a power transformer to get power from the larger power pylons to the smaller ones, but I don't want this many nodes, so here's what we're doing there. And then you have to split this out. Voltage switches are important. Which one do you pick? Do you pick the 3 one? That's two directional. Do you pick the 6er? That's bidirectional, I think is what it's called. And then the high voltage switch with priorities, which is 1 directional. I don't want this one yet. I think I want the triple, because whatever is happening here is not going to have all that much impact on the rest of the network. The next thing may be a power plant relatively soon, but it's just not happening today. So let's just get it started somewhere. Let's get that one assigned. That's cool. I think our construction offices are a little bit lazy right now, which is totally fine with me. Yeah, this list is getting short. This is good. Very, very, very good news. You're also continuing to get to wherever I want you to go. Is the train going to be able to actually access this? We may need to put a rail depot here. A temporary rail depot. Quite annoying, but you know what? If that is the cost that we have to pay to get this thing done, then we're going to pay that. Just like so. So yeah, I guess I'll just allow that because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Let's get these assigned. That looks good. We don't have to get those built yet. That's something that we're going to build once we actually have our own citizens, which we clearly don't have today, but hopefully at the end of the episode, that is no longer the case. For power, the 14 megawatt line is the only the only big power line that we have available, and honestly, there's absolutely no reason to go smaller than that at the time of today, simply because if you go smaller than that, well, this is a border connection. It's never going to be enough. So I just want to make sure that that is all covered. These, you can cheat a little bit and put a little bit of footpath in between the pylons and skip a couple pylons, but at some point the wires will simply just be dragging on the ground and your vehicles drive through them. It doesn't make any difference gameplay wise, but if you want it pretty, highly recommend not doing that. So there you go. There's a little advanced tip from B-Well Joe right there. Next thing, what else do we need? It's already September. The year is going by so fast. I would really like to get this thing done, but to do that, we're probably going to end up in winter anyways, and then continuing into next year, 1933, we're going to get our first citizens. That is very possible. I'm not going to say that that is not going to happen, but as you can see, there's a lot of infrastructure that is still being built, especially around water, so I don't want to overdo that right now. There's even some more water being not done right down there. There's a couple waste containers that are not ready yet. Yeah, if you're not ready, you're not ready. Do not invite citizens before you're ready. And for example, forgot that you had substations that you still had to build. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. What am I doing? I'm doing power. Okay, let's do a little bit of power. How much power do you need? I need enough power for everyone to get powered. That makes sense. Let's put that in between here. It's already a bunch of utilities just getting connected right there, so we may as well continue the trend. It would be really nice if it will tell you what the current load of all the buildings is that are connected to this thing. And honestly, I feel that I want this closer to here, just because that guy's connected right there. That is good. We do need one that's connected to both of these fueling stations, and we can do that right there. We do need power in this general area, but we also need power out here for all of these buildings. So may as well, let's see, how far can we get down to this side and still have the water pump in range? Not the water pump, the water well. Right here looks good, and we're covering most of that area as well, which is good, and we are covering all of the industries here. So this one is the only one that I know we don't need. Let's get rid of that and get rid of this. I don't think I added another power substation here, so all we have is this one and this one. I think that's pretty solid. Okay, let's speed up a little bit and keep moving. The first one is just a simple wire, a small one connecting to this little substation over here. That will be built relatively quick, I am pretty sure. Let's get a couple more things done here while we can. The next ones will be a little longer, and this is how I usually build my power network with the medium voltage lines. Simply get them through somewhere, wherever you feel is appropriate. In this case, I think I can just go across the street, probably right here. You pay for every pylon, so I'll leave it up to you how you want to build this. And then this is the other one. Do you want to go through the backyard, or do you want to follow this road over here? I don't mind the idea of following the road that already has some utilities on it. That may be okay. You just go through there. You would go in front of the hospital that we can pretend has its own power connection, and then it's winter and we can't see stuff well anymore. And this is where we're going to combine my power lines to make them look like they are one and the same. If you do it with 2 or 3, it actually looks pretty good. Once you get into the 5, 6, 7, it just looks like a bird's nest of way too much going on, and there's no fun in that. But sometimes you will have to change directions and come from the other side, otherwise you get the power pylons just placed a little funny. But this feels good in terms of what we needed to build. Build those 2, please. That's the substation that I would like to build. We don't have helicopters, so we can't build them super fast. But we can build them nonetheless, and that is important. Okay, do we have to worry about any assignments? Not really, but we may as well give them some priority so they can figure out what I actually want for them. How's you? How are you not done yet? No workers. Are you out of workers? No, there's 67 workers right here. Pick them up, drop them off, go work. I can see what's happening. That this guy is taking so long to get to this station that it takes 2 full loads of workers to actually get blocked there. And then, of course, it's blocking itself. This is why you don't want level crossings at any point. It's just not worth it. And yeah, that guy already went back home to do the same thing. And you're gonna run out of workers again. I know it. Okay, Control H, send you home. I'm gonna help this guy a little bit, okay? Control H, then you're gonna get back here. You have probably loaded enough material to do the next step, which is wonderful. There you are. Are we actually gonna get people at the end of this episode? We're running out of time a little bit, especially if I have to do this too many times. But let's just wait and see. You do not want to invite people in the middle of winter in Siberia. I can tell you that for nothing. Bonus points. Bonus tip. Okay, can the bus actually pass you now? You're not on the road anymore. Where's my bus? It's probably refueling right now. You're going back home because you were idle for too long. I don't like that mechanic. I would much rather have the rail cranes just park there. until they're empty of material if there's more stuff to be worked on. But I'm not the developer. It's not my pig, not my farm, as they say in some places in the world. Okay. What else do we have? Power, pretty much done. They got all the things done that I needed them to get done. That's great. There's another substation in Dundee that needs to be taken care of. That is good news, which means we will have power in just a second after I turn it on. You have to turn it to import, and then you have to turn it to whatever voltage you actually want here. In this case, I'm just going to go full bore, which is fine. This one now has power because you are connected to all the things. Let's set up a couple notifications. I need to be notified when that thing is empty. Cool. I would like to be notified when my shop is empty. That is cool. I don't actually need any electronics right now. I just need probably 3 to 1 is a good ratio for me right now. So let's go with that. This guy should already be pretty much full. That's good news. You are done being constructed. That's also good news. Let's start filling up the rest of those things while we get through the winter. How about that? That sounds great. That's an open haul. We don't need that. What do we actually need? I need 2 trucks for refrigeration. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then I would like 1 covered hole for chemicals. Which one do you actually want? This one has 1.5 tons, half a ton, half a ton. Sorry, 1.5 tons right now is the king, so that's what we're going to go with. Let's talk to our refrigerators. Your job is going to be... Sure, we're going to abuse this... not construction, but this border connection for just a little while longer. Have you come out here? That looks good. Let's go back to your friend. Sorry, we're moving a little fast here with all the windows in the background, but I would like to get to the point where I can do the thing. Left control and click will send them out to do the thing that we want them to do right away, which is take part in that line. That sounds good, and we have our connection. Okay, moment of truth. Can I import? No, I can't. That's fine. Let's try another thing really quick. Can I? Yes, I can purchase this one. I knew that. That was a thing. Can I now tell you to go here? Some vehicles cannot be sent to this depot. But that one can. Excited. I want to see you. You're so dark. I cannot... I'm happy that you figured out how to get here, but I cannot tell what you are. Give me some light, someone, please. But look at how big that vehicle already is. That's amazing. That's fun. And now you should be able to get started on this. And you, sir, I would like to go here. None of the buildings can. Okay. If I sell you, you cost 2,000. I don't want you out here. I don't want you blocking this vehicle. Just understand that, please, and thank you. There you go. How many workers do you get? About 39. Oh my god. That is very exciting, which means we can upgrade this one to 100% of workers again. And I expect big things from you in the near future, which hopefully includes getting a border connection done. Yeah, look at that thing. It's actually able to move a couple things, although it needs more workers. The problem with workers from the border is they will always be out, like their timer runs a lot faster, runs out a lot faster than if you have your own workers, in case you weren't aware of that. But that should be okay. I actually think we have all the pieces in place to turn on this city besides waste. Okay, let's get waste done before we go crazy. I want a waste truck, and we need some large containers and some small ones. This one can handle 2 tons, this one can handle 5 tons, this one can handle 3 tons for small containers. Small containers, 57 kilometers versus 31. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're already in the area, we may as well get a couple snowplows. What colors can we get? Silver-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first 3 of these are full. I don't want your range to be crazy, and I haven't built the waste container setup just yet. I think we will want that relatively soon. It's just not there at this point, and I would like to use local help to get all of that set up. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what I'm forgetting, because I feel like there's always something that I'm definitely forgetting. I will get the second steam crane in here. Why? because we should get to the next section relatively soon where we can actually start with 2 cranes. And 2 cranes makes me think I need to get one of the bigger buses convinced. There's a covered hole here. What's this covered hole supposed to do? You don't have a line. Oh, I know what this is. Chemicals. Haha! You thought I wouldn't remember, but I did. Go here, load chemicals please, and bring them there. Unload chemicals please. Good job. Proud of you. These guys are currently not doing anything. I am very tempted to send them to do some work, but honestly it's probably not necessary right now. Also, I forgot, as usual, to fill in this field. We made some room. We destroyed a little bit, but it's about the same size as the field we had earlier. It should just be easier to get to this one. So that should be okay. Yeah, we're just really waiting for citizens to show up right now, so that should be not really a big problem. You guys are doing what you're supposed to do here. I was looking for another bus. Okay, get another bus. What do you have available? Get me the fast bus, the fast and the big bus. Thank you. You come all the way out here. Go refuel. Proud of you. It looks like we don't have any fuel trucks sitting over here. That's a little concerning. But let's have you come out here and get people from that border and bring them over here. That sounds fine. No tourists, please, in either location. The rest should be allowed. Now we just spend a little more than just NATO money on our rail connection. And we have two trucks. No fuel for... Almost forgot. I talked about this earlier. I did, and then I forgot, because that's how I do things. Bring fuel here, please. You need power for that. Okay. I had a feeling. That was a thing. We can actually run this faster because it doesn't matter. There is no free power production that we have. There's probably a mod for that, but I don't have one. So we do have to use the real electric substation, but that's not a problem because all we need is one of these rinky-dinky ones. Right there, and then right there. And again, this will all get destroyed at some point once this border post is pretty much ready to go. And I do expect our construction officer to make really short work of these guys. So that sounds good. I'm glad I saw that now, because down the road, finding that out, it's not a good thing. Okay. Fuel got delivered there, but I do think I should at least have a gas station somewhere out here, so we may as well get that one organized. You do want power for them, so we may as well make it connected to the power substation that we have down the road. That's good. I don't really want these guys to worry about any mud roads, so stop doing that, please. There's no reason to cover this. And this rail is an eyesore. Okay. Can we fix that? Yeah, absolutely. We can. Totally. I hope. Let's get rid of what we have going on over here. That is almost fine. We do have to go pretty high up in the air because I do want to increase the height of whatever is going on here by quite a bit, so we can get a nice not level crossing in that area. But I think we will be okay as long as we have a construction excavator in the area. When I built these overpasses, I usually put a little bit of extra buffer here because the game likes to throw dirt onto places where it doesn't belong, and then have your terrain tool on this one so you get your height, and then go back to terrain and now raise height and see if we have an excavator. We do have an excavator. That's awesome. How high do you want to get? Back question. How high would you need to get? So we are at 13 meters here approximately. It's usually about 10 meters to go over something most of the time. And we'll see if that works. Here I'm using the bulldozer functionality of our excavator in case you're curious. Yes, you can do that, and it's actually really nice. I wonder if they added some protection for the roads because it's not actually throwing as much dirt over as it usually did. And if you press F2, you can see a little more of where you're doing the things that you're doing here. That can also be very helpful. The first thing we have to figure out is, do we have a bridge that can actually go over all of this? I don't know the answer, but I feel that this and this should be removed. That looks fine. It is April. It's almost time for citizens, which is exciting. But let's get a rail bridge over all of this first. We have 2 available. This has wider pillars than this one, but let's see. Can this one go here? It cannot. Okay. I don't... Excuse me, game. I don't have to be tied to just go up. I can also go down just a tiny bit. So that's what we're going to do next. And we'll see how that cancels itself out. I don't want to take away all of this road, but then I want to take all of this away. And let's figure where we are. That button on again. Let's go down here, make it small. Let's go down to 10 meters. I normally don't do this, so don't judge me. And I did hear that a taxiway is a much better tool to level out the ground than roads are. So that's what we're going to use here. I like it. I like the interaction there. I like the interaction here. And then this one just has to come back out again. And as you can see, it's a little more opinionated than other pieces, but that is fine. Get this one over here. I think this will be good. I think this will work out exactly the way that we need it to work. So now that one, ideally, yep, goes down 3 meters from where we started. That is kind of the point of all of the stuff that we just did. And this one goes 5-6 meters back up. Let's level this out just a little more. That feels good. And now we should be about 10 meters above the road, which is generally the height that you want for this. So let's try again. I'm disappointed. It cannot fit over the double road. I saw it. There was a green. There's a green. I don't hate that at all. 2 pillars, pretty much centered. We're going to call that a win. I just have to be able to get all the way down here to make that actually work, but that may actually... We may actually have a chance for this one. Let's see. Get rid of that one and get rid of this one. And then what? Honestly, we don't need all of these extra connections. So, whoa. You're doing things that I don't want you to... No, stop it. That's not the one I'm trying to connect to. I want... Stop it, I said. I want that guy. Can you get up here? Not yet. But this shouldn't really be a big deal. And then again, someone told me that the taxiway is a much better communicator of how you want stuff to flatten out. So let's use it. It's working pretty well, honestly. I'm kind of impressed by that thing. So thank you for that tip. And try again. Use this one. Yes. Over here. Over there. It's not exactly the track that we had in mind earlier, but I think we can work with this. You would go probably... Let's do this. Let's do it right. You can do that. Yes. And then you can do this. Okay. Then you can do this. Okay. Then you can do this. Very good. Then you can take this back just to... probably about right there. Should be good. That looks great. That looks great. And get you connected. Okay. Flattening out a little more. We have the excavators available, so we may as well do the thing. And then we're going to do this one. Excuse me. And get you snooped in. No, just... I don't want that one. I want this. Thank you. Gosh. So now that one's connected, and then we still need that extra 100 meters from this guy. Was it 100 meters? Yes, it was about 100 meters that we needed from that to get across here and across here. And now it's relatively smooth. And all we have to do is effectively the same thing on this side. And I can already see that these are no longer aligned to what we had aligned earlier. But that's not a problem because nothing was built yet, so nothing was wasted. Let's get this one nice out here in a straight line on the runway. That looks cool. Rail, not road. I was almost saying road for no particular reason. And we're going to get you down here in a nice straight line all the way up to where they belong. That feels pretty good. When we do the other one, it's not going to be as smooth, but I think we'll be fine. And then we're going to ask you to please remove these nodes that are no longer needed, and now we have a nice overpass with some stuff around it, which will probably never cause any issues. That's how it works, okay? It's fine. This one wasn't fully connected, so we're gonna get that one in there as well. Construction office, would you mind doing your work over here? That will be super. And looks like fuel is happening because fuel is here now. And winter is over. Okay, I know it's a long episode, but citizens or no citizens? Let's find out. First thing that we have to do is override the old episode 3 that didn't work out. There we go. Overriding. Very nice. I forgot water substations there and we lost a lot of people. The next one we're going to do is invite all the citizens. Is this going to work? And if it doesn't work, it has to be next episode. But for right now, let's invite all of these nice and full. They need to be full, otherwise we're probably not going to fill up all of our residences that we have. Kindergarten, I don't think we need 15 people working here. 10 is probably fine. The shopping center, I hope about 13 is enough for you. We don't have any fire trucks yet. Let's get those organized. Speed 10, speed 5. 1, 2, 3 of these to get about 30 firefighters in here. That sounds like a good thing. This building does not need that many workers, so we're going to reduce that as well. The indoor pool never needs this many workers, so let's reduce that. All the workers that you have inside these buildings are workers that you can't use in other buildings, and that can hurt you long term, so don't let that happen if you can avoid it. I do want some extra workers going down to the treatment plant, and I hope they can find their way from this guy. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a shortcut road right there, which we now do have, so that should be all okay. And is anyone working here yet? Yeah, I saw someone walking in there, and that should be enough to convince the rest of the city to get a little bit of water. How are you doing? We have some waiting in front just because they're just figuring out what their organization is. I hope we don't need this many doctors and people here, and 2 trucks should be sufficient to keep that one happy. This should be almost done, honestly. And let's let this run for just a couple minutes to see what these guys are thinking of their new home. This is the important one. Can you see if you generally have enough workers and if there are any people in front of the store? Because if the answer is yes, then good job, you've done it. If the answer is no, you have to do something about them. But this looks good. Electronics, that's fine. This looks fine. This looks fine too. And then the health hazard right here for these guys, we're just going to keep an eye on. I'm not sure if that's going to go well or bad just yet. But I think we've done the thing that we set out today. We got 2 trains, actually 3 trains. We got this one, we got the other one, and the other one. But one of them we already sold, which is fine, and we got citizens in. So I'm pretty happy with this. I hope you are too. I will, well, continue this, and we'll see you next time. Not in the winter this time, and we'll see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for being a little longer. Sign up for the giveaway. Don't forget about that. I will see you hopefully on Tuesday when both of us, you and I, can play at the same time and have fun then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.